Canada's aluminum is now flowing straight to Europe, and the numbers keep climbing. Meanwhile, American factories are stuck paying some of the steepest aluminum prices anywhere on Earth. A plan meant to protect US industry might be doing the exact opposite thing. Tariffs, tight supply, and Europe's hunger for cleaner metal are all crashing together at once. And that crash is starting to hit factories, supply lines, and car makers everywhere. For many years, Canada sent a huge amount of its aluminum to the United States. That was the normal way business worked. But now, things may be changing very fast. More Canadian aluminum is finding its way to Europe, while American manufacturers are paying much higher prices than before. What was supposed to help American industry may have pushed the market in a completely different direction. Instead of making Canada depend on one customer, it may have encouraged Canadian producers to look for new buyers. Europe was ready, demand was growing, and suddenly Canada had more choices than ever before. This is not just a story about one metal. It is a story about changing supply chains, global competition, and how one trade decision may have started a much bigger shift than anyone expected. Many people think tariffs only make foreign companies lose money, but the real world is often much more complicated. When tariffs increase, companies buying imported materials usually end up paying higher costs. Those extra costs do not simply disappear. Manufacturers have to deal with them every single day. Aluminum is one of the most important materials used in modern vehicles. Pickup trucks, SUVs, electric vehicles, battery cases, body panels, wheels, and suspension systems all depend on aluminum because it is both strong and lightweight. When aluminum becomes more expensive, automakers face difficult decisions. They can accept smaller profits, pressure suppliers to lower prices, redesign parts, or increase vehicle prices. None of these choices are easy. In many cases, ordinary buyers may eventually pay more without ever knowing aluminum prices were part of the reason. While costs were rising in America, another problem was growing across Europe. European manufacturers were searching for reliable aluminum supplies. At the same time, global supply became tighter. Several challenges arrived together, making it harder to find dependable sources of aluminum. Companies wanted suppliers they could trust for years, not just for a few months. They also wanted cleaner aluminum because many industries are focusing more on lower carbon production. This made Canadian aluminum much more attractive. Large amounts of Canada's aluminum are produced using hydroelectric power, giving it a lower carbon footprint than many other sources. For European automakers, aerospace companies, and manufacturers, this became a very attractive combination. They wanted secure supplies, cleaner production, and long-term business relationships. As Europe searched for dependable aluminum, Canada found itself in a stronger position than before. For decades, much of Canada's aluminum naturally flowed into the American market. Many people believed that pattern would continue no matter what happened, but markets do not always follow expectations. When selling aluminum into the United States became less attractive because of extra costs, producers started looking for better opportunities. Europe quickly became one of those opportunities. This did not mean Canada stopped selling to America. Instead, it meant Canada now had another major customer waiting. Having more than one strong buyer changes everything. It gives producers more flexibility, more negotiating power, and more confidence when making future business decisions. One important idea helps explain why this happened. Businesses do not simply look at the highest selling price. They also look at how much money remains after transportation costs, tariffs, and other expenses are removed. A market may appear to offer higher prices, but if extra costs reduce profits, another market can become much more attractive. That is why producers often follow the best overall return instead of the highest number on paper. Europe became an attractive destination because companies believed it offered better long-term opportunities. Once producers discover another profitable market, they usually continue building those relationships instead of depending on only one customer. This shift matters because aluminum has become one of the most important materials used in modern manufacturing. Years ago, steel dominated many industries, but today, aluminum plays a much larger role. Automakers rely on it to reduce vehicle weight, improve fuel economy, and support electric vehicle technology. Battery enclosures, lightweight truck frames, suspension systems, and body structures all use aluminum in different ways. As the demand for electric vehicles continues growing, the need for aluminum also grows. Any change in aluminum supply can affect production plans across the automotive industry. Even small increases in material costs can become much larger when millions of vehicles are built every year. The most interesting part of this story is that markets often react much faster than governments expect. Trade policies may be designed with one goal in mind, but businesses quickly adjust when conditions change. Companies are always searching for reliable suppliers, lower costs, and better opportunities. If one market becomes more expensive or less profitable, businesses naturally begin exploring other options. That is exactly why global trade can shift much faster than many people imagine. Instead of waiting for conditions to improve, companies create new partnerships and new supply routes. Europe's growing demand gave Canadian producers an important advantage. Instead of relying almost entirely on one customer, they suddenly had multiple buyers competing for their aluminum. Competition usually creates stronger negotiating power. Producers can compare opportunities, study long-term contracts, and decide where their products create the best value. This changes future business discussions because companies with more options are usually in a stronger position than companies with only one major customer. Another reason this story matters is because supply chains are built over many years. Large manufacturers do not switch suppliers every few weeks. Before materials are approved, companies perform testing, inspections, quality checks, and production planning. Shipping systems are organized, contracts are signed, and factories are designed around trusted suppliers. Once these investments are complete, businesses usually continue working together for a very long time. That means today's trade decisions may shape manufacturing relationships for many years into the future. If European companies continue building stronger partnerships with Canadian aluminum producers, those business connections may remain even if market conditions later change. Canada now holds several advantages that many global buyers value. Reliable production, cleaner aluminum created with hydroelectric energy, access to Atlantic shipping routes, and connections to North American markets all make Canadian aluminum attractive. These advantages become even more valuable when global manufacturers are searching for dependable, long-term suppliers. Every company wants stability. Every company wants fewer surprises. Reliable supply is often just as important as low prices. Meanwhile, American manufacturers continue facing higher aluminum costs. Companies building trucks, SUVs, electric vehicles, and many other products must carefully manage rising expenses. Every additional cost forces another business decision. Some companies may reduce profits to stay competitive, others may negotiate harder with suppliers, some may redesign products to use materials differently. Others may eventually increase prices for customers. The effects spread across industries because aluminum is used in so many different products beyond automobiles, including aerospace, construction, transportation, and advanced manufacturing. The biggest lesson may be that global markets rarely stand still. Businesses adapt quickly whenever opportunities appear. New trade routes develop, new partnerships are formed. Companies invest where they believe future growth will happen. Once those investments begin, they often continue expanding over time. That is why many people believe this aluminum story could become much larger than a temporary market adjustment. It may represent the beginning of a long-term shift in how aluminum moves around the world.